Alrighty, so I'm going to be doing a rehouse video for my chromatus, mature female. Um, Here's the scientific name. It's the Brazilian red and white, so as you can guess, they're native to Brazil, which makes them New World. So they do have urticating hairs on their abdomen. They're a semi-aggressive nervous species, which means that she's probably likely to kick hairs at me. I haven't had her super long, and in the time that I've had her, she hasn't kicked hairs at me. I got her for a sweet deal from a girl who had to sell her whole collection because she was moving to Hawaii. And what else can I tell you about these guys? They need a little bit higher humidity because they are native to the Brazilian rainforests. They're really beautiful and they're pretty quick. So a lot of people recommend the Nahondus if you're looking to get your foot in the door of old worlds to get used to the speed. But she hasn't been super quick on me. I'm just rehousing her from a 5.5 that's black into one that is the fake wood because I want to use her 5.5 to make some enclosures for some new pokies I got. They're going to look like the ones behind me. Those are the sweet enclosures I make for my arboreals. So I'll probably do a video of rehousing those pokies too in my new enclosures. So here's just going to be a short video of me rehousing Nahondu chromatus and kind of my housing recommendations for this species. So here we go. Alright, so this is what I have my girl in right now. So 5.5. What I have that I'll be using for this rehouse is a catch cup and a lid. Catch cup has little holes in it, not a big deal. My 10-inch tongs and then a paintbrush that I got at IKEA in like a 10-pack for like $2. It was awesome. I use these all the time with my spiders. So let's see. So she's under this log. Let's see how she does if I just pull this up. There's my girl. She's very pretty. You can see why they are called the Brazilian red and white. She's got those beautiful white legs and that red abdomen with that beautiful white carapace. I got this girl for a total steal from this girl who had to move to Hawaii, so she sold me her male and her female. Unfortunately, the female wanted nothing to do with the male, so I ended up trading the male for some other little slings. So hopefully he's off to have babies and she's just going to enjoy her life with me. So let's see if she kicks or anything like that. Usually I like to kind of touch their back leg and see how they're going to react. A lot of times they'll whip around at you or they'll start kicking. Oh, looks like she's going to whip around at me. Oh, so since she's just kind of running away, a lot of times I'll just put the catch cup right there. So let me see if I can put my camera somewhere. It's a little better to see it with. Oh, she's so beautiful. Okay. She's right there. And then usually I'll just put my catch cup right here. Kind of. Oh, that's another thing about the Nahondus. They can be pretty quick. They're a good beginner if you're kind of gonna get into the more the faster species like a pokey. So they're a good starter if you're gonna get into those. So I'm just kind of nudging her into here. Come in. There we go. There she is. Oh, just kidding. Things are a little harder when you're trying to videotape them. There we go, right in there, sweetheart. Come on. And I like to use just the soft part of the paintbrush. It's a little nicer on them. Alright, now she can be pretty quick, so I'm just going to set her right there. Put the lid on her, and she is good to go. much easier than the OBT rehouse. You can see her in there, happy as a clam. Not really, but this enclosure that I have her in, I keep it pretty boring because I'm not super into decor. You'll probably notice that if I do more of my collections, more of my collection videos. But this is really dry. Normally they recommend probably like 75% humidity. Most of the time I keep my spiders lower than what the recommendation is because I live in a really dry area and most of the time they seem to do just fine. So, but what I've done for her new enclosure, which is just going to be this, almost exactly the same 5.5, but it's got the fake wood. The biggest change I've made to her enclosure, that I'm just going to put that eco-worth right back in here since it's the same spider anyway. The biggest difference that I've made now is I have taken her lid and I have put tape on the top. When you do this, it cuts off some of the airflow and it'll raise the humidity. If you're having trouble trying to raise your humidity in your tarantula's cage, there's a couple things I'd suggest. I suggest taping off part of the lid, getting a happy balance that way. And then another thing I'd suggest is a water dish with more surface area. The greater surface area you have, the more evaporation you'll get into the tank, which means more humidity in the air and everything like that. So I just suggest finding the happy medium between taping off your top and then getting a nice size water dish. As you can see in my Goliaths, my tea sturmeyes, I have a really big wide water dish because they require quite a bit higher humidity. And I kind of keep one side dry and one side wet, but that has nothing to do with the chromatus. But that's kind of what I recommend for trying to keep up the humidity in a tea's tank. Also tilling your substrate to keep up with mold, any dead crickets, in her case, roaches, because they will hide. So if you feed roaches, check your substrate frequently because roaches are smart and they will hide. Luckily, they won't die as easily as crickets, so you probably won't smell them right away. But they can be pretty tricky. But anyway, I'm just going to put the dirt in there, get a little wetter, probably add a little bit more. They recommend 3 or 4 inches. And I'm just going to add more right now that's already wet eco-worth to immediately up the humidity. And then I'll just put her in there, and then basically that's a rehouse within a Hondu chromatus. Alright, so here's her new 5.5. Looks almost exactly like our other one. Lately I've been doing their hides with a little bit of dirt over them. I think it looks kind of fun for somebody who doesn't do decor. Kind of boring. But anyway, here she is again, my beautiful girl. I need to get better at this whole camera thing. My sweetheart. So there she is. There we go. Focus a little. Alright. There you go, baby. So, where did I put my paintbrush? There we go. She's right there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There you go, sweetheart. Come on. Tap, 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 tap. She is. Come on, baby. She's not too sure about this. Alright, she's all put in her new enclosure. There she is. Just another close-up on my beautiful girl. Like I said, I think she's nearing a molt. When I put her away, I'll overflow that water. There's her hide. And then here's her new lid with that tape on there. This is just clear packaging tape that will help hold in that humidity. Oops, normally I do it this way. So that way I keep the one side that's dry and the one side that's wet. So there she is. Sorry, my lighting is kind of poor. And she's good to go. And that's kind of the basics of rehousing any terrestrial. She was pretty easy, even though they're kind of a faster, more aggressive species. She's kind of a chilled out spider, which I think is kind of unique that they have teeny tiny brains called ganglions, but they manage to each have their own personality, which is pretty neat. So she's done. So thanks for watching.